time coming. You feel it, don't you? The chill that has nothing to do with the night air. The way the flame of this solitary candle bends towards something that isn't there. It's the breath of a memory, ancient and hungry, stirring in the margins of my words. I shouldn't be telling you this. Truly, I shouldn't. But the telling, it is a part of the ritual now. The price, perhaps, or the invocation, deep in the crooked spine of King's Mountain, where the pines grow so close they drink each other's light, where the fog never truly lifts even when the sun should be high. I found it, not by chance, no. I sought it. For years the whispers had clung to me like pollen, tales of forgotten circles, of a power older than the mountains themselves. The old ones, the Cherokee elders. They spoke of places best left sleeping, of names too heavy for human tongues, of what happens when the land remembers. I heard their warnings, yes, but I heard the promise too. The promise of forbidden knowledge. The understanding that lay just beyond the veil of their fear. It was a clearing, hidden by a tangle of mountain laurel and rhododendron, where the very light seemed to dim. Blackened stones, taller than a man, stood in a broken circle. Their surfaces were pitted, scarred, as if lightning had struck them 1,000 times, or perhaps as if something inside them had tried to claw its way out. Even in the daylight, they pulsed with a heartbeat not of this world. A low thrumming that resonated in the soles of my feet, then up through my bones, right into the hollow chamber of my skull. It called to me, a low, insistent hum, like a bee trapped in amber, aching to be free. I spent weeks there, clearing the brambles, tracing the ancient glyphs half erased by time and erosion. My fingers, accustomed to the delicate turn of parchment pages, learned the roughness of granite, the grit of shale. I drew my own circles within the old, chalk dust adhering to my skin like a second skin, a layer of temporary truth, iron filings, sharp and metallic, scattered to ward off what wasn't being called, to focus the intent, my own blood, droplets of it, offered to the thirsty earth, a covenant whispered in the wind that always, always seemed to rustle through that grove, even on a windless day. A King's Mountain witch, they called me, in hushed tones. Before I was even that. Now I have earned the name, and more. The air thickened, day by day, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. The fog, a constant companion, began to take on shapes, fleeting, indistinct, just at the edge of vision. The roots of the towering pines, exposed and gnarled, began to coil like serpents, tightening, shifting, seeming to reach out, drawn by an invisible current. The wind, which had always carried the scent of pine and damp earth, began to carry other things. Voices, ancient and frail, like dry leaves skittering across the ground. Voices of the long buried, sighing, murmuring, just beyond understanding, yet somehow perfectly clear. They spoke names. Your name. My name. Then came the night of the crimson moon, a night when the sky itself bled, staining the clouds, a deep, unsettling vermilion. The light was not of fire, nor of twilight, but something older, a glow reflected from deeper currents. I stood in the center of the circle, my arms outstretched, my voice a raw, primal instrument. The chant was not of my making. No, it was a memory, found in fragments of forgotten texts, in the resonance of the stones, in the wind's whisper. It built, rising and falling, a pulse against the heartbeat of the earth. Chiyu Nikani, Agamania. The words were not mine, but the intent was. The desire for knowledge, for power, for that raw, unbound truth. It consumed me. The ground began to tremble. Not a tremor of the earth, but a deeper shudder, as if something vast and asleep was stretching, waking. The blackened stones pulsed not just in my feet, but in my chest, a resonant thrum that threatened to crack my ribs. The moon, a bloody eye in the sky, seemed to watch, complicit. I felt the air thicken, becoming heavy, viscous, like honeyed darkness. A suffocating pressure, yet exhilarating, like diving into an ocean of pure potential. My ears rang with the cacophony of the ancient voices, now screaming, now weeping. My blood offering, stirred by the impossible current, began to steam on the cold stone. Then, from beneath the soil, from the deepest roots of King's Mountain, something answered. It wasn't a form. Not at first. It was a presence. A cold, vast awareness that unwound itself from the earth. A knowing. It didn't speak with a voice you could hear, not with your ears. It spoke directly into the center of my being. A thought that was not a thought. A truth that was undeniable. It had been waiting. My knees buckled, not from fear. Not yet. From the sheer, overwhelming weight of it. The purity of its age. The absolute, undeniable cost. What did I give? What was taken? My sleep. For one, the innocence of my thoughts, the easy peace that comes from believing you know the boundaries of the world. It left a mark, yes. Not on my skin, though sometimes I feel an itch there, like something is trying to push through. No, the mark is here, in my mind, a constant hum, a whisper that never ceases, a cold dread that follows me like my own shadow. I saw too much. I touched too much. I knew too much. And it remembers. Oh, it remembers. That was its gift, its curse. It drew from the fear in the soil, the terror woven into the very legends I sought. Every name ever spoken in fear, every child's cry in the night. Every shiver of ancestral dread. It absorbed it, cataloged it, made it its own. And now, it knows every name. It knows mine. It knows yours too. Now that you've heard the story. Now that you're here, listening in the half-light, drawn in by the same forbidden knowledge. It felt you. It heard you. It heard the fear in your quickening breath. And it is coming. It always comes. Here I come.